Welcome, I'm Dragon, and today it's finally time to review my Ender 5. I got this printer on January 31st and it arrived on February 4th. Compare this to getting the Prusa Mini kit, which I ordered on the same day as the Ender 5, and it arrived a few months later, around the end of May. Luckily, the shipping times for the Prusa Mini has gone down, but still, creality printers have really fast shipping in my experience. As far as assembling the printer, it's a very simple process and took me around an hour and 50 minutes, but I was going pretty slow, and you could probably do it in an hour. Once it was assembled, I swapped the bed for a glass bed because, like I said in the Ender 3 Pro review, the default beds from these printers really aren't that great. But once I did this, I was immediately able to print a heart for my Etsy shop that actually had the quality I wanted, which was a first from any of the other creality printers I've tested. Unfortunately, after a couple of very good prints, I turned on the printer and went to print something when the printer rebooted. And no, it was not because I had the voltage wrong. So I started testing what was wrong, and it turned out it was the heated bed that would make the printer reboot whenever you tried to heat the bed. You could heat the hot end and move the printer just fine, but you could not heat the bed. I then started to do some Googling on what was wrong, and I decided it was probably the power supply. So I ordered a better Meanwhile power supply for $50, and when it arrived, I installed it onto the printer, and the printer worked fine after that. As far as I can tell, this isn't a really common thing, but still, creality should probably make better power supplies, or at least get better ones. But other than that uncommon issue, I actually haven't had really any other issues. Sure, I had a clogged nozzle, but doesn't every other printer? With this printer, I've printed around 200 hours worth of Etsy orders, and I'm pretty happy with this machine. And I'd say of the two creality printers I've tested, this was probably worth the investment the most. I've also done some personal projects with this printer, one of which was this water wall, which is really quite big, and you'll probably see it on this channel again if you continue watching. As you've probably noticed, I've also printed some small upgrades from a very useful Edge of Tech video, and I've made a couple of which will be linked below because it's on Prusa printers. I've also printed an LCD cover because the screen is really bright in the morning, which is a decent amount of the time I'm using this printer. Overall, the reason this printer still isn't my go-to printer is because it's louder than my Prusa Mini, and it's slower than the Prusa Mini, and I guess it doesn't have automatic bed leveling, which would be very useful on this machine because the annoying bar blocks your view when leveling the bed. Okay, so when leveling the bed, typically you want your eyes to be right here, but with this printer it doesn't really work and you have to kind of judge it kind of like this, and it's a little more difficult. So basically I would totally recommend this over the CR10 and even the Ender 3 Pro, but like you may have expected, I would still say to get the Prusa Mini if you're willing to spend a little extra, even though this is the first creality printer where I think the printer itself is actually decent. Well, thanks for watching. I hope this helped, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!